good because I'm a little bit disorganized. I'm going to just tell everybody that I'm on here, actually. Kershaw throwing 85 pitches. Okay. Is that enough? I don't know if that's probably about this. What do you guys think? If that's in fact true that Kershaw is limited to 85 pitches, and we have to confirm that. Is that enough on the slate at 10-2? What's up, Hayden? What's up, Sharks? So, yes, no kidding, Sharks. No joke. No joke. You know what I like to say? The good thing about having 45% Mito Pereira is that I have 55% of my lineups I can still root for. So that's good, right? Where is Mr. Bobby? Well, should I start with Adam? No, I'm going to wait a minute. I'm going to text him, and then we're going to just get rolling here. So I would like to have something to say about yesterday's baseball slate in a moment. Let's wait for Bobby just for a minute. Sorry. I have plenty of time. What's going on, K9?
My apologies, guys, for being a little late.
Hey, what's up, Bobby?
How's it going, man?
I got to disappear for a minute. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I got it. Guys, here's what I'm doing today. So unfortunately, with the Dodgers being so chalky, I'm probably using Sorry. All right, he's out of here now. So sorry about that, guys. Sheets muted me for some reason before I got out of here, so I wasn't able to talk. Now I'm back in. So it should be good to go. So let me talk about what I'm trying to do today. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. So look, to the Dodgers are obviously going to be mega chalk. I certainly like the Dodgers. I think there's also an argument to play a weird Hunter Green at low ownership because of the upside. And in general, though, what I'm going to be doing is probably turning my Dodger stacks into more complementary stacks, which makes me nervous because I do feel like the Dodgers could go a little bit crazy today. At the same time, we have a lot of good options here to go through that aren't going to be quite as high owned. So I'll start with the Cleveland, Minnesota side of things. It's really warm in Minnesota, like warmer than ever. I don't mind the idea of playing the Cleveland stack, and I don't mind the idea of the Twin stack. Now, the Twin stack is going to be very high owned as well. So you have to just decide what you're willing to eat and what you're willing not to. I do like that we're going to get a little bit lower ownership, I believe, on the Cleveland side of things. And the thing is, while Smeltzer has had some moments, this guy doesn't strike anybody out. It's always weird how that works out against a non-strikeout team. But I think like Jose Ramirez, Oscar Gonzalez, Franmil Reyes, Amid Rosario, that whole little grouping is a nice grouping to go with. And I don't mind if you want to go Jimenez instead of Amid Rosario. He's actually the one who's had more power this season and has been better for the most part, although he struggled a little bit more lately. But I do like I do like the Dodger Cleveland mix. And I'm interested in the Cardinals. I don't love that you have a great bullpen in Milwaukee and that you have Bill Miller, who's the best pitchers umpire in baseball, in that game. So I think that's what's sort of stopping me. But I am looking at the ownership, and I don't understand quite why the Cardinals, even with all that, are as low owned as they are. So I would encourage you guys to play a good portion of these Cardinals here today. And there's going to be some that are popular, like Gorman and Goldschmidt, but especially the longer they take to get the lineup out, the more it's going to be low owned. And I think Goldschmidt gets under owned today. I think Arenado is going to be really low owned. Dylan Carlson's going to be low owned, and you can use him as a pivot off of like the Kirilloff and Larnach thing, who's going to be pretty popular for Minnesota. Lars Nootbaar, nobody's going to play him. You can use him in stacks batting eighth. I just think it's an interesting stack to go with, just at low ownership. And I do think the Cubs are going to get a little bit of love. Again, Quintana hasn't been blown up all that much. I think both Contrerases today are to me the two obvious catcher plays along with Will Smith. I think you're playing one of those three guys if you're spending up, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But I'm more interested in the pitching side of that game. I like Steele a little bit better than I like Quintana. That's where I'm at right now. I don't mind if you want to play Quintana instead, but I like Steele. And then I was hoping, we'd get no ownership. And to be honest, we're really not getting all that much ownership on the Braves. And I think the Braves might be a good stack, even though this is not the A-plus Braves lineup. I could certainly see an argument for playing Alex Wood here just because of how bad the pitching is on this slate. But I do think you have enough upside with especially with the weather, the way it is in Atlanta right now, to play both sides of that game. But especially I like the Braves side. I do like Kyle Wright quite a bit, so it's going to be harder for me to get to the Giants, but I certainly don't mind if you want to get contrarian, if you want to go that way. It's that kind of a slate. I'm not playing much except for one-offs from the Cleveland Colorado game. And I wouldn't even mind if you want to play Freeland and Garrett. I understand Garrett's going to have some ownership. That's fine, but I'd rather if I'm going to just play guys at ownership, I don't really see the difference in pricing because there's so much value. There's plenty of value depending on who you're stacking. So I don't know that I need to go down to those guys, but I also don't have a ton of interest in the offenses in that game. Sheets, what are you doing today?
So I was talking about something. I put it off until you got there, and then I had to go do something else. What's the deal with Kershaw? I don't know if you went over it. Does he have a pitch limit?
I'm sure. I mean, there's never going to be a written tell us what he's going to pitch and that we were going to believe. So it doesn't matter anyway, but I would assume he throws 85 to 90 pitches.
Is that enough?
As opposed to who else you want to play?
That's what I was going to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's nobody else to play. So it doesn't matter.
Do you have him as your top pitcher?
Yeah. I mean, Kershaw, I have mixed Kershaw, Steele. I'm getting weird with some of the other guys. Cause if you're going to say, please act slow owned, anybody with a leash, I don't see as being that much different. Quintana doesn't have the great strikeout stuff, but it's a good matchup. So I think Quintana is a very good option. I think Justin Steele, excuse me, is a good option. I think that, or a reasonable option on this slate. I think that Kyle Wright and Kershaw are close. I think that you could make a good argument for Wright. I do worry about that lineup versus him and the weather in Atlanta being so good for hitting, but I think you should be playing one of Wright or Kershaw with a mix of these other guys, including guys like Dakota Hudson. Bill Miller is the umpire in that game. Hudson hasn't struck anybody out this season, but he's actually pitched in real life more effectively than the fantasy.
So Bill Miller is a pitcher's umpire?
The best.
Okay. So I when I came back, you were talking about something I really wanted to spend a little time on. You brought up the Braxton Garrett. And it was interesting because when you rank these guys point per dollar, he's going to be the top point per dollar play because he's freaking 2 cents, right?
Right.
And I see him getting like 15 to 20% ownership. I don't know much about this guy. I'm kind of inclined to doing something that's really just usually never advised and playing Colorado bats on the road. I don't want to play the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I want to play the Dodgers, but I don't want to play the Dodgers. And if you can get Garrett at 15, 20% ownership and play Colorado, that's what I was kind of thinking about before I kind of logged on. Is what to do in that game. So did you have any information on Garrett? Is he like a good prospect, or is just some dude that's 5,400?
Garrett has basically, I mean, like he's coming out of a start where he pitched 4 innings and struck out nobody. He had a reasonable game before that. I don't have a whole lot of opinions on Braxton Garrett. I actually think he's okay. I think Colorado's a little better against lefties than they get credit for. I think people are just playing simply that the second lowest run total on the slate is Colorado. And why wouldn't you play the cheapest pitcher against that guy? That's the reason why people are playing him. And I actually think it's going to be a lot higher than 15%. I think he's going to be closer to 30.
Because people want to get to the Dodgers?
No, I just think because he's the cheapest pitcher with the second lowest run total against him, and it's just what people do. And because of it, projections are going to love him because of that.
So what are you doing with the Dodgers? You playing the Dodgers and doing the Bobby thing where you somehow get the highest owned stack, but you end up getting them low owned, or are you? Yeah, how you doing? Or are you one-offing them, or what are you doing with them?
If I had in my Dodger 5-man stacks, I'll automatically play Bellinger and Barnes because they're going to be the 2 low owned of the bunch, and I'll try to play. Lux won't be low owned.
Okay.
I'll play Justin Turner also. Those guys should all be in pretty low single digits. So Justin Turner, Bellinger, Barnes would be the grouping if you're going to make a 5-man. And if you're not going to, which I am going to do a lot of, is playing like the 3-5-7, the 1-3-5, things like that, just to get a little bit different. It's the fact that Chris Taylor at 3,800 is going to get 4 times the ownership of Cody Bellinger because they're batting a few places different in the order is enough, especially on the road where you're going to get those extra at bats often anyway. I'm just happy to marry myself to Bellinger in those Dodger situations, but I do like the mini like I have in my big one right now. I've got a 4-man Cleveland, a 3-man Dodgers. I just think Cleveland's going to be lower owned than I don't want to say should be, but could be. The stack I'd like to get to more is Atlanta. I think Atlanta is even with their weaker lineup out there without Acuna in this heat with the wind blowing out center field. It just feels like Alex Wood is not a huge strikeout guy anyway. If you can, you're putting the ball in play against a guy who's not a huge strikeout guy, you're going to get low ownership on Olsen because the lefty. You're going to get low ownership on pretty much all of them. I think the only guy who probably is in the double digits ends up being Ozuna because of the pricing on like Swanson and then you maybe Darno or Contreras get there too. But those guys are both reasonable. They play the same position. They're hard to stack, but you don't need to get a full 5-man. I think trying to stack for a full 5-man on this slate, unless you really like it, is a mistake.
So I have to whine a little bit because I don't know if we're going to talk about last night's slate later.
I didn't play it, but go ahead. Yeah,
I want to whine a little bit, and I'm whining it myself. And I almost bailed myself out. So you weren't. Oh, that's right. I was by myself live last night. So this is what I did. These were my takes. I went on there. I said, okay, Chicago is clearly the best stack, but I literally don't believe it. All right. I just couldn't imagine the Cubs being a good stack, and I am Xing them out. And I told everybody on the stream, I'm like, I wouldn't recommend this. You're usually supposed to go by the numbers, but I am just Xing them out. Sorry. Second best team I'm announcing is Baltimore. Okay. But you know what? Even though Roth and everybody says that, I think we're actually getting enough of this game in, I'm just not playing with that. I'm just not playing with that either. So when I play Baltimore, I'm not doing it. So immediately Chicago scores 9 runs in the first inning, pretty much, and Baltimore scores 7 runs in the first inning, pretty much, right? And
Baltimore didn't. I don't think they were on the winning end, though.
Right. So in any case, I'm tilted. But then I said, the team that I did play, I told everybody I was going to play Seattle. All right. So I gave up on the slate, and then all of a sudden Seattle starts freaking going off. Okay, on the road, and they're up 8-0 after 5 innings, and I am going into the last three or so innings. I'm in 29th place in the lottery, and nobody has anybody. They all are just have Ohtani like I do. Okay. But everybody's got innings left 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and I have 29, right? And I'm like, no, oh my God, I just need a couple of more swipes. I'm getting their bullpen. It's awesome. And one by one, as they got to the 7th inning, pinch hit, right? It's for Seattle of all teams. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? And then I'm like, I got 2 guys left, okay, that I could that are coming up. So I had 2 swipes left going into the top of the 9th. I had the 8, 9, 7, 8 guys. And I thought I was getting bailed that they brought in Sheldon Noose to pitch in the 9th inning because they ran out of pitchers. And I had my guys in there with a shot against the position player. And he threw the ball 40 miles an hour, and they both hit it to the wall. Unbelievable. So I almost got bailed out in spite of myself.
Oh, man, that's brutal, though.
Yeah, they gave me a chance. First, they tried to pinch hit me out of contention, and then they brought in a freaking position player to give me another shot. So that was my night. I hope everybody else played Chicago and/or Baltimore. And if you played Chicago, Baltimore, and Seattle, then you're really in business. But yeah. All right. So what do you think of? You mentioned Steele a little bit. Did you talk about Quintana at all?
I think Quintana makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that he and Steele are the guys in that range that you want to play the most. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Quintana ends up more popular. What's that?
But do you want to play them? I mean, there's guys in the range you want to play, but do you want to play them?
I'm playing Steele more than I'm playing Quintana, but I don't mind. I don't mind Quintana at all either. I really think you can make a good argument for both of those guys, and the
idea is just surviving the SP2, right? I mean, we're not really.
But there's a chance somebody could have a game. But that's sort of the general thing.
Yeah.
You have the really low strikeout Smeltzer, who's going to be really popular.
Really?
That's why I'm more inclined to take some of the Cleveland guys on the other side. I don't mind if you want to have hitters against your pitcher today, by the way. At least one is fine. I don't feel good about any of these pitchers, to be honest with you. If I'm going to play Smeltzer, why am I not playing Plesac? If Smeltzer is going to be 10 times the ownership of Plesac, I'll just play Plesac. He's got a longer leash. He has similarly gross strikeout numbers, but at least he can flash some upside with the strikeouts, and we have never seen that from Smeltzer. At least Plesac has 1 game with 8 strikeouts this season. And you have a weaker Minnesota lineup with no Buxton in it, so I'll take a shot there. If I'm going to take one of these cheapo guys, same thing goes with Garrett. If Garrett's going to be 30% owned, which I think he's going to be close to, or 25% owned, I am going to play Plesac at 2%, 3% ownership, who has a longer leash, who's facing a better lineup, but it's without Buxton, they're significantly worse. And I mean, he has better upside in every way, in my opinion, than Garrett does. And he's, much cheaper. So I'd rather gamble on stuff like that. I'd also rather gamble on Dakota Hudson, whose strikeout numbers have been kind of gross this year, but he's been pitching deeper into games. And you have a great pitcher's umpire out there today. We've seen strikeout stuff from Hudson in the past. He's been really, really bad strikeout wise, but pretty damn good in real life this season. For the most part, outside of 2 starts. So I would rather just take the lower owned guys in that case. I do, Alex Wood seems like another guy we should talk about, but at the same time, I prefer the Atlanta Bats than I do Wood. but I don't mind if you end up there. Like there's nobody I feel that adamantly that you need to play pitching wise. I just can say what I'm doing, which is
K9. Am I the nut low? Did I forget to put up the FanDuel? I thought that I did. Shoot, if I didn't, I apologize because I remember doing them. Damn it. I'm gonna do this now. I forgot to put them up. Yeah, because you have freaking what's his name, like Robbie Ray as chalk, and is that any good? I mean, like,
yeah. To answer Rody, Robbie Ray is on FanDuel, fine. I didn't play FanDuel today. I hate FanDuel morning slates. Rody says no love for St. Louis stacks. No, I talked about St. Louis. They fit into the same sort of category. Like they seem like they're lower owned than they should be. That's definitely true. You have Bill Miller on the other side, so I certainly wouldn't be 5-man stacking them just based on. I don't like 5-man stacking on big slates where I don't feel as strongly about them as I do about than other teams. And on top of it, you got the best pitchers umpire in baseball on the other side.
I'm one other side
in that game.
Okay.
And St. Louis is, they're going to be low owned, but I think I don't think there's going to be a huge difference between them and Cleveland. I prefer Cleveland, but I certainly have no argument with anybody playing St. Louis. I have some St. Louis love myself. I just don't feel. I feel like every one of these stacks are great because all the pitching sucks. So every one of them I could make a good argument for. The ones I probably wouldn't stack would be Chicago. Probably wouldn't stack. It's pretty much the only team that I don't have as a full stack is the Cubs. And not to say they couldn't get there. I just think Quintana is good enough to not get blown up. I'm more actually, you know what? I don't even want to say that. I feel actually like I really feel like every team is extremely stackable. I wouldn't stack Cincinnati and I wouldn't stack. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have any other ones. I think that I think San Francisco at like no ownership at all is interesting. And I think that the Braves are just because of the hitting conditions in that stadium. We've seen some good pitchers already have some big games there. The Minnesota thing, I just think is a little bit getting carried away. I think people are like, everybody's into this Minnesota idea. Well, losing your best hitter is a big deal. And having a bunch of guys who, you really have three good hitters in the lineup, but the 1, 2, and 3. And those guys cost Arias with no power, although he had a home run yesterday. But one of the lowest power guys in baseball is 5,200. Carlos Correa is 5K. Max Kepler's, who also doesn't hit for a lot of power, which people don't seem to realize. Max Kepler's 4,700. Gary Sanchez 4,700. They're expensive for guys who aren't great. Against a guy in Plesac who I actually am finding myself a little bit on Plesac's side on this one. I'm actually going to play some Plesac just because of the ownership, the fact that he's got a longer leash than all these other guys who are going to get more than him. His strikeout numbers are equally awful. They put all the worst strikeout pitchers on the same slate for some reason, which is why I'm taking my upside guys. And even those guys have had some just dreadful strikeout performances like Justin Steele. The only ones with real K rates are Kershaw and Wright. And that's that. I guess if you want to just play those two and then you probably could feel good enough about getting at least some points from your pitchers, whereas everybody else sort of makes you have to like, you're wanting just to get by basically.
Favorite. Okay. So he's asking for favorite pitcher on FanDuel.
Yeah. It's gotta be Robbie Ray, I'd imagine.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Montas. I mean, yeah, I guess I would say Montas and Ray are a toss-up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's I wouldn't even consider anybody else personally if it was me.
Do we want to to get to say the Dodgers? Do you need to pay down? I mean, can you play Ray and Montas?
No, FanDuel doesn't give you anything like that.
Okay.
You can always find a way to play the top stack you want with the top pitcher basically in FanDuel. They're pretty easy. I like this question. Paid and Wavy. Fill out the Atlantic stack, Contreras or d'Arnaud. I personally would go Contreras, but I have no problem with d'Arnaud. I think those are two awesome options, and it sucks that we can't play them together. I would probably go with Contreras myself, but I really don't mind d'Arnaud. It's totally flip a coin. I think most people would probably say d'Arnaud. I'm just a little bit on Contreras' side here. just for a little bit more power upside. And it is interesting to me that people aren't playing some of these other Braves. I might have to rethink a little bit of this and try to attack Alex Wood. Just hard when there's so many there's so many attackable pitchers. And the guys with the best, that are the best are the ones, that's the weird things. Like, I understand the Dodgers being popular. It is Cincinnati. I expect them to, Hunter Green is great, as talented as he is, as good as he's going to be. He's going to have some unbelievable outings, which are going to make you look like an idiot when you stack against him. But he's also going to have some huge blow up games. You can run on him. He gives up tons of power. You have 5 home runs in a game earlier this year. It's pretty awesome.
Are you not supposed to play? I don't know. Are you not supposed to play Hunter Green today? We're talking about him. We have the Dodgers.
I think you should throw him in. I said that's what I started off with.
Yeah.
I think you should throw him into the mix. But he's like 8% owned. Wood 14% owned. I don't, obviously very different pitchers, but like if they're really that close ownership wise, I probably would just play Wood instead. But again, I'm not on the side of playing Wood because I'm actually on the stacking Atlanta, but he doesn't have Hunter Green. There's zero safety for him here. Just the strikeout numbers could be good enough. And it's just not a team that strikes out.
Is the Minnesota lineup out?
Yeah.
Is Buxton in?
No.
Okay.
And again, I have Plesac in one of my big buy-in, not big buy-ins, but big-ish buy-in tournaments because he just makes sense. He's the lower owned of all these guys that he's got the longest leash of, and at least at times has shown flashes. So I'm letting that sort of dictate how I'm doing things. Do I expect him to be the best all the time? No. I also want to throw out again, I think Dakota Hudson should be in, if you're playing 10 lineups, Dakota Hudson should be in at least one, probably 2 of them. On DraftKings, and that's pretty much where I'm at on this slate. But there's no way to just say, okay, well, here's the best pitcher, this is the best options. I'm going with Steele and Kershaw as my 2 best. I have no problem if anybody wants to do anything different. I don't feel that strongly about it. It's just what I'm doing.
Is this and I'm reaching, right? So did Jose Quintana play for Chicago? I think he might have, right?
Yeah, but there's no value in anything like that kind of stuff.
Okay,
it's actually a download.
Downgrade sort of because they
downgrade for sure. In general, it's a downgrade unless it's Scherzer, Trevor Bauer when he pitched. Guys like that are the only ones I see getting any edge from that whatsoever. How many innings did what's his name end up pitching yesterday? Clevenger.
I don't know. I didn't play him after all.
Oh, really? I was into that a little bit.
I was too. Then I just changed my mind.
Yeah. I'm looking at some other. I'm just going to try and set my lineups here. Outfield value. Oh yeah, Newt Bar. Yeah, I definitely think you can make an argument for the Cardinals. I'm going to throw in a little bit of a.
I didn't even realize that some of these guys were out. So Acuna is out. Hedges is out. Okay, that's obviously worth Hedges. Oh,
okay. Goldschmidt. Sorry, I'm just trying to build through. Guys, pop in any questions. I'll get to them. Like, get a minute.
Justin Steele.
No Riley, by the way, for Atlanta either. God, I really wanted to play them. It's just that lineup they put out is not all that exciting.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
Is it still like 100 degrees there?
It's only yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It's like a 95
during the day.
And it's blowing out 11 miles an hour to center.
I'll
tell you what, if I was a hitter on that team, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, let me hit on this condition. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, really.
It's just like perfect. I do think, and also we don't have a Cardinals lineup, and every minute that ticks by, I'm telling you, it just makes them a little bit lower on than they would have been.
That's
Hopefully
true.
It happens right before lock. And unlike a lot of other teams, they actually do rotate these guys quite a bit. So
I should probably play some more Hunter Green.
I have one Braxton Garrett lineup, by the way. So I'm just not going to say that you absolutely can't play the guy because I do have one lineup with him.
Green. I'm gonna just put in 15%. Yeah.
How about Tommy Pham as the most expensive outfielder on a slate like this? That's pretty wild.
I thought he was almost out of the league.
Well, he's actually had a decent season. He just punched Josh Peterson for their fantasy football thing.
That's right. That was amazing.
It's pretty funny.
That was awesome.
Weird
Dodgers. Okay. Yes, so I am going to do mostly the Dodgers and Colorado.
I like the Colorado idea. I just didn't quite get there myself.
Yeah.
Kirilov's fine. You're playing a chalky one-off with a little bit of risk, but pitch at risk. But yeah, it's what it is. It's something. I'm playing Kirilov, but I'm not playing him as a one-off. I'm playing him with like a little 3-man, or I do have a couple lineups with just him and Larnach. I think Larnach's a better play, by the way, if you had to pick one of the two. He's a guy who actually, can hit home runs. I mean, Kirilov hasn't hit a home run this season. But yeah, I like Larnach a little bit better.
Hunter Renfroe is out. I was unaware of that as well.
It just happened. Oh, there's the Cardinals lineup. Oh, it is Yepez. Carlson's in there. Okay, so Donovan's 5th. Gorman 2nd. Edman, Gorman, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Donovan, Yepez, Carlson, Nootbaar, Herrera. So pretty similar to what we thought, but Yepez I had is out and Bader I had is in before. Which means I'm going to do this. Instead of Carlson, I'm going to play Yepez.
What position is he?
First base outfield.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I can figure this out. Let's see.
Yepez. Okay. Redo my FanDuels.
Steele, Rosario, Plesac, Swanson. Oh, is that a question? If there's questions, you guys really have to make them look like questions because sometimes I can't tell what's being said. Just put a question mark, put a QQ, put a something because I'm guessing that's a question. But
Steele, Rosario versus Plesac, Swanson. Plesac, Swanson, no?
Steele, Rosario for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So I guess Steele Swanson.
Yeah, Steele Swanson, if you can somehow find a way to do that.
Let's see. Yeah, on FanDuel, I'm going to get right back to these Seattle guys again a little bit. I am playing a little bit of FanDuel today. Just the lotteries.
Yeah. There wasn't much else, right? That I missed? No.
Nope.
3, 5, 7.
Okay. Kershaw would probably have too much Quintana. I think that's going to be my issue. But that's all right. I always have to have an issue.
Yeah. I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with Quintana.
And so, is there a slate tonight? I haven't even done the sheets for it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what
there
it is.
is actually.
It's a nonsense thing because it's all
Oh,
the
it
games.
is? It's not even 4 or 5 games?
No, it's not like that. It's like throughout the day, kind of.
Oh, so there's no 7 p.m. like 5-game slate?
No. Let me see. There's 3 games that start after 7.
Is it enough to warrant my?
I'm not promising live tonight with a 3-gamer. I don't think
3-game slate. Yeah, it might be a day off from the live this week. I will get the projections up, but yeah, I don't think I'll be back. If I am, I'll pop in. But
yeah, Adam's got a question. Okay, so pick 2 with a 3-man Dodgers.
Here we go. So
Freeland, Steele, Wright, and Garrett.
All right, I would prefer you didn't play Wright because he's probably going to be chalkier, right?
I would play Steele and Wright. I don't even care about that. Yeah. That's a building your whole lineup kind of a question because
I guess
that's asking me for the pitchers and then because none of those, there's not like they're similar priced or anything like that.
Right.
Wright is 9,900, but I think that is the way you should look at pitching on this slate. I don't think you should care that much about the price for the most part. All right, let's see this. I think I have all Cleveland and Dodgers in my main lineup. So I want to do that. I'm trying to decide here. Guys. Help me out.
What, Cleveland and Dodgers?
Cleveland and the Dodgers as my. I don't even have any other players, honestly, in that lineup.
I think I'm missing something. I'm not getting to these to the Clevelands.
So my argument is if you're not getting to a lineup today and you're playing multiple lineups, you should definitely be playing the pitcher on the other side.
If you're not getting to a team, you mean?
What's that?
If you're not getting to a team, you mean?
Yeah, just because we hate all the pitching so much. If you can't get to a lineup because you don't feel good about it for whatever reason, I think you should just be playing the pitcher. Smeltzer's given up 7 home runs in his last 14 innings. That's pretty incredible.
Jesus.
And he can't strike anybody out. Cleveland doesn't strike out anyway, but I'm kind of into this Cleveland going a little nuts though. And I did notice one thing about my play that I wanted to point out. I think I've had a little bit of a leak by not favoring the road teams a little bit more. I used to be better at that just because the extra inning of at bats. Now we know if it's like 11-0 or something, you might get your guys are taken out anyway. But still, I just think we should give more of a boost to this. And I don't talk about it enough as much as I used to. I used to be very, very focused on trying to make my primary stacks. Like even like if I had 2 teams near equal, I would have to go with the team on the road. I want to get back to doing that a little bit more. So
yeah,
something I wanted to point out.
I mean, you get more at bats. I mean,
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm done.
Yeah, easy day. Any interesting starts in golf for your sheets?
Yeah, I have 45% of Mito Pereira.
That's what killed me too. What did he end up at? +3?
He's like +6, I think.
No. Is he?
I think so.
Oh my God, that's really painful.
I think so. But I was joking on here before. I said, the good thing about having 45% Mito Pereira is that you get 55% of your lineups you can root for. So, yeah, he's +6.
Jesus.
And it's my web is -5.
I know. I've got Webb too, and I've got Webb. Is the Gala still up there?
I didn't say.
He was in first last time I looked, and I played in like 20+%, and he was unowned. Oh, Schofley just went nuts. He's at 7 under now. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
List I have a bunch of. The Gala ended up at 3 under. He fell off a little bit. Rory went nuts too. Rory's at 6.
I was very. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, so I posted in and I know Kenny wanted me to do more of this. I posted in the golf Discord the results of ownership, and I compared the true DFS ownership projections to actuals, and there were only like 5 guys or so that we were off by more than 5%, and I ranked them to see where we were the most off. Mm-hmm. We kind of knew that Mito was going to be higher owned than we thought, but it wasn't by that much. Right. The one that we missed was Davis Riley was like 19%. I only had him at 12. Everybody, and then the other one that actually you mentioned when we did the video is that you're like, why is nobody going to play Bo Hostler? And he's actually came in much higher owned than I had him. I had him at 3, and he came in at 8.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And then the one that everybody kind of like picked up on was that Denny McCarthy ended up way over owned than people thought. Like he was supposed to be like 10, and he came in like 14. But overall, I mean, as I mentioned, the ownership projections in the industry are usually pretty tight. But but those were the 3 that stood out for me. It was the Davis Riley, the Bo Hostler, and Denny McCarthy. The rest were pretty all as anticipated. Yeah. And what was also really interesting was that I was sort of right about the ownership momentum out of Xander. It just kept going down, and now he's going to make everybody look stupid. That's like.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Rory's right there at 6 under also.
I was really surprised that when JT got scratched, that Rory didn't become really chalky. I think I think that was a big mistake by the field, not playing him more.
He's 20% owned. I mean, can we say it's a mistake when Scheffler's 11-2 also?
I guess not.
Yeah, that's my only thing. Oh, no, our boy Kim. Kim was 4 under, and now he's even.
Oh, I didn't even, thank God I didn't see him 4 under. I would have lost my mind.
That's what I looked in the morning, and I've got a nice little lineup with him in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only good thing I did, it looks like at the very end, well, not the only good thing, but the best thing, I realized I had too much Mito, and I just started 1v1.
That's good.
Harman. Yeah, so Harman is 2 under for the day. I can live with that. At least he's likely to fight another day.
There's some scores out here, though. I mean, Xander and Rory are going to be -7+ probably. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yep.
Yikes.
I know. And I
mean,
mean,
what are they already predicting cuts yet, or not really?
No, they don't do it until day 2. Oh no, they have the cut. They have the cut line guesses. Like -3 is 30%, -2 is 35%.
I got it up there now. Yeah.
So but yeah, wow, that's a pretty good start for Xander. And of course Xander's the one guy I left out of my pool this week, or the one top guy. He and even Spieth I threw into a lineup. Ugh, what's the matter?
Oh my God, he's finally doing it when I don't have him. The Charles Howell -6.
I know, that's painful. I didn't even want to point it out to you. That's terrible.
Okay, all right. At least,
but I mean, it's
there you are. The Gala. Yeah, he ended up -3, huh?
Yeah. Mito did end up at +6, or he's +6 now. He's still
going back. He's not going to show up tomorrow, probably.
Jesus, here comes the leaving. That's
golf is rough, man.
It is. It's weird. Jason Day was horrible, so I'm glad I faded him. Harold Varner terrible so far.
Yep.
That's good. I had a couple guys who I was considering that I didn't end up going with, but mostly it's been the guys who Mito hurts. All right. Well, I think that we're pretty much it for today's sheets. I'm going to get a bunch of practical stuff done and enjoy the day a little bit. Good luck to everybody.
Are we doing a meeting or something?
No, I can't do the meeting tonight. We did it Tuesday, but I don't think we can do it tonight.
All right.
Well, good luck to everybody. All right. Have a good day, buddy.